Definition of fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of a haploid male gamete and a haploid female gamete to form a diploid zygote. Fertilization in human female is internal as in other mammals. It takes place in the ampulla of the fallopian tube. Process of fertilization. During copulation, stimulation of the glans penis results in the discharge of semen from the urethra into the female's vagina. This process is called insemination. Several of these sperms move up to the cervix of the uterus and enter the fallopian tubes, where they come across the descending ovum. As the sperm and ovum meet, fertilization may take place in the fallopian tube. If the ovum is fertilized, it becomes implanted in the lining of the uterus, called the endometrium. Implantation usually takes place 3 to 4 days after the young embryo reaches the uterus, 6 to 7 days after the egg was fertilized. Capacitation of sperms. The sperms in the female genital tract are made capable of fertilizing the egg by the secretions of the female genital tract. These secretions remove the substances deposited on the surface of the sperms, thereby exposing the receptor sites on the sperm's acrosome. This activates the sperm and enables it to penetrate the ovum. This process is also known as capacitation and takes about 5 to 6 hours. Physical and chemical events of fertilization. These events include the following processes. Acrosomal reaction. After ovulation, the secondary oocyte reaches the fallopian tube, also called the oviduct. The capacitated sperms undergo an acrosomal reaction and release various chemicals contained within the acrosome. These chemicals are collectively called sperm lysins. The important sperm lysins are hyaluronidase, that acts on the ground substances of follicle cells; corona penetrating enzyme, that dissolves corona radiata; zona lysin or acrosin, that digests zona pellucida. Acrosomal reaction. Optimum pH, calcium ions and magnesium ion concentration and temperature are essential for acrosomal reaction. In the absence of calcium ions, fertilization does not occur. Due to acrosomal reaction, plasma membrane of the sperm fuses with the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte and the sperm contents enter in. Binding of sperm to the secondary oocyte induces polarization of the oocyte plasma membrane, which prevents polyspermy or entry of more than one sperm. It ensures monospermy. Cortical reaction. Immediately after fusion of sperm and oocyte plasma membranes, the oocyte shows a cortical reaction and a zona reaction, which makes the oocyte impervious to a second sperm. In this reaction, the cortical granules present beneath the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte fuse with the plasma membrane of the oocyte and release their contents between the plasma membrane and the zona pellucida. These enzymes harden the zona pellucida and prevents entry of additional sperms. Karyogamy or amphimixis. Sperm entry stimulates the secondary oocytes or egg to resume and complete the suspended second meiotic division, which results in the formation of a haploid ovum and a second polar body. The head of the supermetazone, which contains the nucleus, separates from the middle piece and tail and becomes the male pronucleus, while the second polar body and the tail degenerate. The nucleus of the ovum is now called the female pronucleus. The male and female pronuclei move toward each other. The nuclear membranes of the male and female pronuclei disintegrate. The two sets of chromosomes go over a spindle formed between the centrioles, and mixing of the chromosomes of the spermatozoon and ovum occurs. This process is known as amphimixis or karyogamy. This completes the act of fertilization. The fertilized egg is now called a zygote. The zygote is a diploid unicellular cell containing 46 chromosomes in humans. Activation of the egg. Sperm entry stimulates metabolism in the egg. Within minutes, the rates of cellular respiration and protein synthesis increase greatly. Fertilization is irreversible and usually species-specific. The sperm fertilizes the egg. This takes place within 30 minutes of ejaculation. If the egg is not fertilized, it degenerates and is absorbed probably by leukocytes. Significance of fertilization. Fertilization has the following significance. Fertilization provides stimulus to the egg to complete its second maturation division. Fertilization activates the ovum to develop into a new individual by repeated mitotic division. Fertilization restores the diploid number of chromosomes characteristic of the species in the zygote. Fertilization combines the characters of the two parents. This introduces variations and contributes to evolution of the race. Fertilization determines the sex of the young one to be developed from the zygote. Fertilization membrane formed after entry of the sperm into the egg prevents entry of additional sperms. Fertilization introduces centrioles which are missing in the ovum. Embryonic development. Definition of embryogenesis. The process of development of an embryo from the fertilized egg is referred to as embryonic development or embryogenesis. Phases of embryonic development. The various events that occur during embryogenesis are gametogenesis, fertilization, blastulation, gastrulation, organogenesis. Phases of embryonic development. Gametogenesis refers to the production and differentiation of male and female gametes by different parents. Fertilization involves the union or syngamy of male and female gametes to produce a unicellular diploid zygote. Blastulation refers to a series of mitotic divisions resulting in segmentation or cleavage of the zygote to form a cluster of cells called the blastula. Gastrulation refers to the morphogenetic movements of cells of the blastula to give rise to germinal layers. The embryo at this stage is called a gastrula. Organogenesis involves the formation of various organs and organ systems from the germinal layers. The zygote converts into a larval stage or young juvenile by the above-mentioned events. Growth and metamorphosis are two post-embryonic expressions that occur in a larval stage or young juvenile to mature it into a new adult. Cleavage or segmentation. Cleavage is a series of rapid and repeated mitotic divisions of the zygote in which daughter cells are half of the mother cell size and it converts the single cell zygote into a multi-celled blastula. This process is also known as cellulation. Cleavage in the human zygote occurs during its passage through the fallopian tube to the uterus. Cleavage is holoblastic, that is, it divides the zygote and blastomeres completely into daughter cells. The first cleavage occurs about 48 hours after fertilization and produces two blastomeres, one slightly larger than the other. This is called the two-celled stage of the embryo. The two cells undergo a series of divisions. The second cleavage occurs within 60 hours after fertilization. The larger blastomere divides first to give rise to the three-celled stage of the embryo, followed by a four-cell stage. The third cleavage takes place about 72 hours after fertilization. Subsequent cleavages occur one after another in an orderly manner, resulting in a solid ball of small blastomeres. The embryo now looks like a mulberry and is called a morula. It is still surrounded by the zona pellucida. Differences between cleavage and typical mitosis. First, cleavage results in decrease of the cell size, whereas mitosis maintains the cell size. Second, in typical mitosis, cell division is followed by a period of growth, while cleavage is not followed by growth of blastomeres. Third, DNA synthesis occurs faster during cleavage to facilitate duplication of chromosomes for rapidly forming new blastomeres. Fourth, divisions are quicker in cleavage. Fifth, consumption of oxygen is greater during cleavage to provide adequate energy for activities taking place during rapid cell division. Significance of cleavage. First, cleavage restores the cell size and nucleocytoplasmic ratio characteristic of the species. Second, cleavage segregates different substances present in the cytoplasm into different cells. Third, cleavage produces a large number of cells so that the building of the offspring's body may begin. Morula. The embryo at the 16 to 32 celled stage is called the morula. The morula passes through the phase of compaction and produces two major types of cells, two peripheral cells and the inner cell mass. The peripheral cells produce trophoblast, trophoectoderm cells. The inner cell mass develops into the embryo proper during the course of development. Blastocyst or blastula or blastodermic vesicle. The outer layer of cells of the morula is called the trophoblast or trophoectoderm. The cells of the trophoblast become flattened. Some fluid passes into the morula from the uterine cavity and partially separates the cells of the inner cell mass from those of the trophoblast. The cavity in which this fluid collects is called the blastocele or blastocyst cavity. As the quantity of fluid increases, the morula enlarges rapidly and assumes the shape of a cyst. It is now called a blastocyst. The blastocele separates the trophoblast from the inner cell mass except on one side. The inner cell mass in the blastocyst looks like a small knob at one pole. This knob gives rise to the embryo and is called embryonal knob. The side of the blastocyst to which the inner cell mass is attached is called the embryonic or animal pole, and the opposite side is called the embryonic pole. The trophoblast does not take part in the formation of the embryo proper. It remains external to the embryo and gives rise to the extraembryonic membranes, chorion and amnion for the protection and placenta for nourishment of the embryo. The cells of the trophoblast which are in contact with the inner cell mass are known as cells of Robber. After the formation of the blastocyst, the zona pellucida becomes thinner and finally disappears. Role of zona pellucida. The function of the zona pellucida is to prevent the implantation of the blastocyst and an abnormal site. It does not expose the sticky and phagocytic trophoblastic cells till the blastocyst reaches the proper implantation site. Implantation. Implantation is the attachment of the blastocyst in the uterine wall. It takes place about 7 days after fertilization. The portion of the blastocyst where the inner cell mass is located lies against the endometrium of the uterus. The blastocyst sinks into a pit formed in the endometrium and then gets completely buried in the endometrium that grows around it. The embedded blastocyst forms villi all around it to obtain nourishment. Later the embryo projects into the uterine cavity and loses villi from the free surface. Role of human chorionic gonadotropin. The trophoblast of the blastocyst develops the chorion and extraembryonic membrane which later forms the placenta. The chorionic cells secrete human chorionic gonadotropin hormone. HCG maintains the corpus luteum and stimulates it to secrete progesterone. The progesterone maintains the endometrium of the uterus and causes it to grow throughout pregnancy. This also prevents menstruation. Progesterone also causes increased secretion of mucus in the cervix of the uterus that forms a protective plug during pregnancy. Gastrulation or formation of germ layers. Transformation of the blastocyst into the gastrula with 3 primary germ layers by rearrangement of the cells is called gastrulation. In trophoblastic animals, there are 3 germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These germ layers are formed by characteristic movements of some of the cells. These germ layers serve as the initial rudiments of all future tissues and organs of the offspring's body. Formation of endoderm. In man, the enlargement of blastodermic vesicle is soon followed by the detachment of some cells from the embryoblast. These cells sink into the blastocele to become the first endodermal cells. These cells then rapidly increase in number to form the second layer of cells called the endoderm below the original outer layer of cells of the blastula. The sectional view of the embryo at this stage shows a tube enclosing another tube. The inner tube is the archenteron, which is lined by endoderm. It later differentiates into a portion which develops into the gut and the other portion which develops into a distal sac that communicates with the embryonic gut to form a yolk sac. The cavity of the archenteron, called gastrocele, is simply the earlier blastocele with a changed lining. Formation of embryonic disc. Immediately after detachment of endodermal cells from the embryoblast, the remaining cells of the embryoblast get consolidated and are regularly arranged to form the embryonic disc. It consists of three regions: cephalic margin, embryonic disc proper, and caudal margin. Formation of amniotic cavity. The space of that appears between the embryonal disc and the trophoblast is called the amniotic cavity. It is filled with amniotic fluid. Its roof is formed of amniogenic cells derived from the trophoblast, and its floor is formed by the embryonic disc. Formation of mesoderm. Soon after laying down of the endodermal layer, the cells at the caudal end of the embryonic disc start proliferating rapidly. These cells increase in thickness and then get detached from the embryonic disc to give rise to a distinct mesodermal layer. The mesoderm separates the yolk sac and amniotic cavity from the trophoblast. Formation of ectoderm. After separation of mesodermal cells from the embryonic disc, the remaining cells in the disc arrange themselves in a distinct layer to give rise to the ectoderm. Formation of extraembryonic coelom. A large cavity called the extraembryonic coelom is formed in the extraembryonic mesoderm. This mesoderm is called extraembryonic because it lies outside the embryonic disc. The developing embryo, along with the amniotic cavity and the yolk sac, is now suspended in the extraembryonic coelom and is detached to the trophoblast by the unsplit part of the extraembryonic mesoderm. Formation of chorion and amnion. Chorion consists of trophoblasts lined by parietal extraembryonic mesoderm. Amnion consists of amniogenic cells covered by visceral extraembryonic mesoderm. Organogenesis. Gastrulation is followed by neurulation, during which the primordium of nervous system, the neural plate, is laid down. Gradually, the rudiments of organs appear. This process is called organogenesis. During organogenesis, the various organs of the fetus are established and they attain functional stage. Fate of germ layers in embryonic development. Immediately after laying down the three germ layers in the developing embryo, the process of organogenesis starts. Organs derived from the ectoderm. The ectoderm gives rise to epidermis, nervous system, pigment cells, visceral and carnal cartilages, adrenal medulla, posterior and intermediate lobes of pituitary, pineal gland, retina, lens and cornea of eyes, nasal epithelium, internal ear, lateral line organs, buccal cavity and lower part of anal canal, lacrimal glands, salivary glands, enamel of teeth. Organs derived from the mesoderm. Mesoderm gives rise to the dermis, vertebral column and appendicular skeletal system, skeletal smooth and cardiac muscles, kidneys, gonads, urinary and genital ducts, adrenal cortex, blood vascular system, blood vessels and heart, lymphatic system, spleen, coelomic epithelium, dentine of teeth. Organs derived from the endoderm. The endoderm gives rise to the internal lining of the alimentary canal, intestinal glands, tongue, liver, pancreas, gastric glands, thyroid and parathyroid, anterior lobe of pituitary, thymus, lungs and epithelium of respiratory tract glands, lining of vagina, urethra and associated reproductive glands, for example prostate gland, lining of middle ear. Extraembryonic or fetal membranes. The developing embryo is provided with 4 extraembryonic membranes, namely amnion, chorion, allantois, yolk sac. Amnion. It is formed above the embryo. It consists of trophoblast inside and mesoderm outside. The space between the embryo and the amnion is called the amniotic cavity, which is filled with a clear watery fluid. The embryo is suspended in the amniotic cavity by an umbilical cord. Functions of amnion. First, it provides a fluid medium for the developing embryo. Second, it prevents desiccation of the embryo. Third, it functions as a shock absorber. Second, chorion. It completely surrounds the embryo. It is composed of trophoblast outside and mesoderm inside. Functions of chorion. First, it takes part in the formation of placenta for metabolic exchange between fetus and the mother. Second, it protects the embryo by taking part in embryo's respiration, nutrition and excretion. Third, allantois. It consists of endoderm inside and mesoderm outside. It is a sac-like structure that arises from the gut of the embryo near the yolk sac. In humans, the allantois is small and non-functional except for furnishing blood vessels to the placenta. Extraembryonic membranes. Fourth, yolk sac. It is formed below the embryo. Its wall first consists of trophoblast and endoderm. At this stage, it is called the primary yolk sac. Later, the wall of the yolk sac consists of endoderm and mesoderm. It is now called secondary yolk sac. The yolk sac is a vestigial organ. It functions as the site of blood cell formation until about 6th week, when the liver takes over the function. Thereafter, the yolk sac starts to shrink. Decidua. After implantation, the endometrium, uterine mucosa, becomes modified and is called the decidua. The decidua tissues can be distinguished into three types. First, decidua bacillus. It is the portion of the uterus between the embryo and uterine myometrium. It becomes the maternal part of the placenta. Decidua capsularis. It is the portion between the embryo and lumen of uterus. Decidua parietalis. It is the portion lining the rest of the uterine cavity. Placenta. Placenta is a temporary association between the fetal and maternal tissues to permit the exchange of materials between the two. In humans, the outer surface of chorion develops a number of finger-like projections known as chorionic villi, which grow into tissues of the uterine mucosa. This type of placenta is called hemochorial placenta. The placenta consists of fetal part, the chorion, and the maternal part, the decidua bacillus. Functions of placenta. Nutritive function. Food materials pass from the mother's blood into the fetal blood through the placenta. Respiratory function. Oxygen diffuses from the maternal blood into the fetal blood through the placenta. Carbon dioxide diffuses from the fetal blood into the maternal blood, also through the placenta, for elimination by the mother's lungs. Excretory function. The fetal excretory nitrogenous wastes such as urea pass from the fetal blood into the maternal blood through the placenta for elimination by mother's kidneys. Endocrine function. The placenta acts as an endocrine gland and synthesis large quantities of proteins and some hormones like human chorionic gonadotropin, thyrotropin, chorionic corticotropin, chorionic somatomemotropic, estrogens, and progesterone. It also secretes relaxin, which facilitates parturition by softening the connective tissue of the pubic symphysis. Storage. The placenta stores glycogen for the fetus before its liver is formed. Barrier. The placenta acts as a barrier between the fetus and the mother. Umbilical cord. The umbilical cord connects the fetus to the placenta. Blood vessels have developed in the fetus and also in the placenta. These sets of blood vessels are in communication by means of two arteries and one vein passing through the umbilical cord. Parturition. The act of expelling the full-term young one from the mother's uterus at the end of gestation is known as parturition. A number of hormones control this process. The first result of labor is the opening of the cervix of the uterus. With powerful contractions, the amnion ruptures and the amniotic fluid flows out through the vagina. The baby follows and its umbilical cord can be cut. The infant's lungs expand and it begins breathing. After birth. Shortly after the baby is born, the placenta and the remains of the umbilical cord are expelled. Colostrum. The first milk which comes out from the mother's mammary glands just after childbirth is known as colostrum. It is rich in calories and protein. Colostrum contains antibodies which provide passive immunity for the newborn infant. Role of prolactin and oxytocin. After 3 or 4 days of delivery, the breasts begin to secrete milk. The synthesis of milk from the mammary glands is stimulated by the pituitary hormone prolactin, secreted by the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. The release of milk is stimulated by a rise in the level of the hormone oxytocin secreted by the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland when the baby begins nursing. Milk contains an inhibitory peptide. If the breasts are not fully emptied, the peptide accumulates and inhibits milk production. This autocrine action thus matches supply with demand. Test tube babies. Test tube babies are the result of the in vitro fertilization. An ovum is removed from a woman, maintained by a culture medium, and fertilized by semen in a petri dish. The zygote then undergoes cleavage and forms the blastocyst or blastula. The developing blastocyst is transferred to the uterus of either the natural mother or a foster mother, where implantation occurs. The only difference between a test tube baby implanted in its natural mother and a baby conceived in the usual way is that fertilization of the egg occurs outside the body.